Hi everybody, it's Nikki here and welcome to a makeup video. So today is the finale, yes, early finale for the PANtastic Ladies collaboration for Pan That Palette this year, which was Size Matters. I have been panning my Revolution Golden Easter Egg all year, but I also continued last year's PANtastic Ladies theme, which was tiny pans. I continued panning that palette this year as well. So I've been panning both of these palettes all year. So let's get straight into updates. I have got to say that because of my mental health, and I keep saying this in my videos, and I know I sound like a stuck record, but because of my mental health, I haven't been wearing a lot of makeup over the last month. I'm starting to feel a little bit like my normal self now, because I have now been on the medication for about 6 weeks now. So the medication is starting to kick in. I am starting to feel a little bit more normal. And also as well, the fact that Christmas is nearly upon us is also keeping my mood up a little bit more as well. So it's really good that I have Christmas to look forward to as well, to help my mental health. But I haven't been wearing a lot of makeup. So that's why I'm kind of bringing this project to an early end. And I just don't feel like one more month is going to make that much more difference to what I've already done with these two palettes during this year. So my main focus has obviously been the Golden Egg this year, because this was the one that I picked for Size Matters, which was the theme for this year. And I've got to say, I don't remember using this. I might have dipped into it once or twice because there has been a little bit of a weight change, but no new pans and not much has changed in here from last month. But you know what? I'm quite happy with what I've done this year with this palette. I have one empty pan completely, and then all of the other shades have pan in them except for this one. And I stopped trying to hit pan on this when I realised it was a very similar shade to this one. So I'm not too fussed. I'm quite happy with the progress that I've made in this palette. Definitely looks used and abused now. In October, this weighed 48.4. In October, this weighed 48.33 grams, and it now weighs 48.26 grams. So there has been a little bit of weight change. I may have used it for my brows a couple of times, maybe. I know that I did start to use this highlighter more frequently as a highlighter because I realized it was a really nice color. Yeah, I think that's the majority of the usage in the last month. But I don't really remember going in this for an eye look. I think I only really reached for the highlighter. But yeah, I'm quite happy at the progress that I've made in this palette this year. Yeah, very happy with that one. But the biggest change, and the one thing that I really wanted to do, was to finally use up the two pans that were almost done in here. Now, did I do that? Did I manage to do that? Yes, I did. I finished them. Okay, confession time. I finished one of them. I broke the other one. Gotta confess. So there was a brow shade up here, not a brow as in for my brows, but a brow highlighter in this pan up here, which I did use up. I did use that up. I really liked it as a brow highlighter. It was a little bit sort of too frosty for my liking, but what I would do was I would apply it and then I would go over with a fluffy brush and just brush it and blend it, and that would take off most of the frostiness and it would just leave the white sort of shadow, the highlight kind of colour. So I did use all of that up. And then the green that was in this pan here, you can still see a little bit of it there. Okay, so I was trying to get my brush into the bit that was left. It was right on the edge of the pan. And I thought, I'm not getting any of this on my brush. So I went in with my makeup spatula and I went to just like scrape a bit off so that I could pick that bit up with my brush. I was a little heavy-handed and the whole thing went flying. And yeah, I thought, you know what, sod it. I am so paranoid that this red is going to go all over my teeth. That's why I keep going like that, because I'm just so paranoid. I don't like this red. Anyway, we're not here about the red lipstick. So yeah, the green did break on me. It went all over my new desktop. Wasn't happy at all. So I was so annoyed. I just swept it up and put it in the bin rather than putting it back into the palette. I was done. I was done with it. So that's another 2 pans in here. So now we just have this gold shade that has pan already, and then these 2 pink shades, this blue shade and this black shade. That is all that's left. So this palette has gone from 38.11 grams to 37.98 grams. So yeah, great news for this little palette. Definitely looks used and abused, and it really should do after 2 years of panning it. How naive was I at the beginning of 2021 thinking this was going to be an easy pan to palette. An easy palette to pan. You know what I mean. Okay, so what is the future gonna hold for me now with Pan That Palette? I am calling this done for this year. I kind of want to go into December with a little bit more freedom to play with my palettes in my collection, because look, I just got a brand new makeup desk. So what happened? I had to sort through all my makeup, putting it into my new drawers and stuff like that. And what it did was it reminded me of some of the great makeup that I already own. And I was like picking up palettes going, oh, I haven't played with this in ages. Oh, I haven't used that one in donkeys, you know, and I was just like, I really want to play with these. I want to play with my makeup. So that's why I'm finishing the project early. So I can go into December with the Christmas period and times. Christmas is generally when I wear more makeup anyway, because I'm going out a bit more, doing Christmassy stuff with family. And so I just want to play with my makeup rather than be stuck with my Project Pan stuff. But also as well, realising how many palettes, beautiful palettes, I do own and I haven't been able to play with because I've been so focused on a Pan That palette for the last 2 years. I'm thinking that next year I'm not going to do a Pan That palette. I really want to look at my collection next year and say, have I used this? Have I used it? And so in that respect, I don't want so many project pans, because there is some great project pans. Don't get me wrong, there are some amazing project pans out, hosted, created by members of the PANtastic Ladies, and I will love them forever and a day, and I think they are the best group of people I have ever come across. But a lot of the new projects coming in are year-long projects with 20 plus products in the project. And even though the rules of the projects may say, oh, just bring in 5 or 6 products at a time, which is great and okay, but you still you know, as a project panner, you always end up wanting to bring something new in every month, and all of a sudden you realize you're panning over 50 products. And so the more stuff that you're supposedly panning, the less space you have in your makeup routine to actually just reach into your other makeup drawers that don't contain project pan items and play with that makeup. So next year, my focus isn't going to be so much on project pans. They'll still be on my channel because that is something that I want to promote and I want to have on my channel. I want my channel to be a project panning channel. You won't see hauls on my channel. I try not to showcase, you know, new purchases and things like that. I do want to promote using the makeup you already own rather than trying to convince people to buy new stuff. I buy new stuff. It's okay. It's okay if you buy new stuff. But I want to promote using your stuff rather than just buying it and putting it in a drawer somewhere. And I just want to play with my makeup. I want to play with my makeup. That's what it is. And so I was thinking that next year I'd like to try the Level Up project. But again, the concept of that is to, for instance, level 1 is use every pan once and hit pan in one shade. Level 2 is to use every pan twice and hit pan in 2 shades. And I still feel like that would restrict me. So next year, I'm going to do Shop My Stash, bringing it back to my channel. I said I was going to do that this year, but I got so bogged down with my project pan items, I couldn't shop my stash because I didn't have room. I didn't have room in my makeup routine to add extra items that I wasn't trying to pan. So next year I'm going to focus on just a couple of project pans and then shop my stash for every month. So rather than just focusing on one palette all year, each month I will pick 1 or 2 palettes to play with. It still might mean that some of my palettes won't get used during the year because I have a lot. But it means that more than one will be used, and I won't feel so stressed out either. So that's what I'm hoping to bring to my channel next year. I have absolutely loved taking part in Pan That Palette with the PANtastic Ladies. They are a fantastic group of ladies, and their ideas, their thoughts, their creative genius is just phenomenal. I love them. I love them with all my heart. Some of the ladies from the PANtastic Ladies group just put a smile on my face, and when you're struggling with mental health, that's just something really special, you know? When you see somebody who's posted a video and you go, oh, I have to watch this, I know it's going to be good, and it brings me such joy watching these ladies and seeing what they're getting up to and how well they're doing, and it's just a fantastic community. I love it. I could gush about them all day, to be honest. Yeah, I think for 2023, why does that sound futuristic? Sounds like we should be in hover cars and stuff like that, shouldn't it? 2023. I still think that 1997 was just a couple of years ago. But yeah, these 2 palettes are going to go back into my collection, into the drawers. I might bring them out again next year. I might have another play with them. I was thinking that this blue shade here in the Sleek Storm palette, I forgot to say the name of this one, but if you've been watching me, you'll know. This shade would do really well with that number 7 eyeshadow pencil that I want to pan next year. So yeah, they might come back out to play next year, but I want to break from them. I want to break from them. I've been doing this palette for 2 years, this palette this year, and I just want to break from That palette for a while. So yeah, that is my update for That palette, and the finale, the wrap up, and my future plans for next year about what I'm going to do regarding That palette, which is I'm not going to do one. I'm just going to play with my makeup and use it because that's what we're supposed to be doing. So that is it. That is my update for That palette. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.